In this video, I'm going to go over and show how the exit values work in Majora's Mask. For this video, I'm only going to talk about the external scene table and how the data is being read out of it. Afterward, I'm going to go over the exit being used to warp to the Majora room and show how that's working. So what exactly is an exit value? On the left here, I have some examples. They are 16-bit composite values made up of 3 different values. Those values are the following: external scene table index, entrance record pointer array index, and entrance record array index. So how do we get these 3 values from the exit value? Well, the calculations for each of them is as follows. For the external scene index, it's the exit value with a bitwise AND of FE00, then right shift that result by 9 bits. For entrance record pointer array index, it's the exit value with a bitwise AND of 1F0, then right shift that result by 4 bits. And then finally, for the entrance record array index, it's the exit value with a bitwise AND of F. This means for the external scene index, at most 128 total indexes can be accessed, 32 total for the pointer array, and 16 total for the entrance record array. Now that we know what makes up an exit value and how to get these values, let's look at an example. Let's use exit value 5440. To get the external scene index, we need to take 5440 with a bitwise AND of FE00, then right shift that result by 9 bits, which gives us 2A, or 42 in decimal. To get the pointer array index, we need to take 5440 with a bitwise AND of 1F0, then right shift that result by 4 bits, which gives us 4. And finally, to get the entrance record array index, we need to take 5440 with a bitwise AND of F, which gives us 0. So this exit would look up external scene index 42, then from the pointer array use index 4, and finally the entrance record at index 0 from the entrance record array. Pretty simple, right? So now that we know what indexes the exit value will look up, we need to take a look at these arrays of the external scene table. Each element in the external scene table is made up of 3 values: the number of pointers in the entrance record pointer array, a pointer to the entrance record pointer array, and a pointer to the file name. The file name isn't too important here, so we're not going to care too much about that. What is important is the pointer to the entrance record pointer array. This points to an array made up of pointers, which in turn point to an entrance record array, which is made up of all the entrance records. An important thing to note here is that the entrance record array does not have a defined length here. The game assumes whatever index it is getting for the entrance record array is going to be a valid one. Let's take a quick look at an entrance record. Each one is made up of 3 values: the internal scene table index, the scene spawn index, and a variable which contains various settings. For this video, I'm not going to cover the internal scene table. However, I would like to note that the internal scene index is signed, so the game takes the absolute value here to get the index that it will use to look up in that table. And with all that pretty much explains how the exit values are working for the external scene table. Now, let's take a look at the exit that is being used for the moon warp. The exit value used is 0006. So let's get its values. The external scene index is 0, the entrance record pointer array index is 0, and the entrance record array index is 6. For this next part, I went ahead and got all the data that will be read ahead of time, so let's take a look at it. External scene index 0 is what you see on screen here. It has 3 pointers in the pointer array, and they are located at 1C43, BC, and RAM. On screen you can now see the entrance record pointer array and its 3 pointers. Using the pointer at index 0 means that the entrance record array is located at 1C43B0 in RAM. So now we can get the entrance record array, which is what you can see on screen. And as per the exit value, we are using index 6. But what I can tell you I already know beforehand is that this array actually only has one element in it. This means by using index 6 we're going out of bounds on this array. But if you recall earlier, I mentioned that this array does not have a defined length. It is assumed that the value it gets here is going to be valid. Now to help better visualize this, I'm going to at this point switch to a hex editor view of the data. So on the right here, I have the hex data as it appears in RAM. On the left, I have all the information we just went over, but let's quickly reiterate over it. For the external scene index, we get the pointer to the entrance record pointer array. As you can see, the values shown match those in the hex view on the right at the specified address. The index we are using from this array is 0, so we can take the first pointer, then use that location in RAM for the entrance record array, which is the following value. And as I mentioned earlier, this array only has one element. But we are supposed to be using index 6. So what's going to be used here? Well, again, if you recall earlier, I mentioned that at most for the entrance record array index, it is possible to access 16 total indexes. The way this works is every 4 bytes is considered an entrance record, which are all of the following values I now have highlighted in the hex view. Looking back at the left, this means all the elements of the array become what you see here now. Now the exit value is set to use index 6 here, so let's take a look at it. It is the entrance record right here, F5000387. Although this is out of bounds on this array, this data is a valid entrance record. And what is important about this record? Well, it is in fact the Majora room entrance record. So effectively by using this entrance value of 0006, which is not normally used anywhere in the game, we are able to have the game load the Majora room. Hopefully I explained this well enough for anyone to understand and follow along with it, and for those who were wondering about how this all worked. Thank you for watching.